And so here again, as I have told you earlier, Achebe, he says that he could never be very much angry against the colonial powers. He cannot appreciate colonialism at all. He believes that nobody has any right to colonize another place, or nobody has any right to enslave another person. Freedom is our birthright. It is God-given. But he says that he had reaped the benefits of European education. And so he was exposed to books and literature. And so he is not very much angry. His attitude is not antagonistic. And at the same time, he is not obliging. He cannot support it. But he will take up the middle ground. And then he says that in these paragraphs, he goes on explaining. Whenever there is a colonial rule, the colonized and the colonizer, they are like bitter enemies. Both parties cannot compromise with each other. And so what you can expect is mutual recriminations, accusations. And so mutual recrimination sprouts and flourishes in the soil of colonial discourse. And so if Achebe became a writer instead of a scholar, someone must be blamed. Someone must take the rap. That is the phrase that he uses. Someone should be blamed. Even in such a situation, you have to evaluate things realistically. And so here, Achebe, he was able to become a writer because of the European education that he had received. And again he explains how he goes to BBC Staff School, London. And he talks humorously about the name, how he is described in his passport till 1960, British protected person. Understood? Achebe is not at all or not very much angry with the colonial powers. See, a colonized person will never appreciate the colonizer, because the colonizer takes away all your freedom. But even then, Achebe is ready to adjust with it because of the benefits of the education that he had received. And he remembers how he went out of Nigeria for the first time to BBC Staff School, London. And he also remembers that till 1960, in his passport, he was described as the British protected person. Again, I will read the 7th paragraph from your text. The middle ground is, of course, the least admired of the three. It lacks luster. It is undramatic, unspectacular. And yet my traditional Igbo culture, which at the hour of her defeat had ostensibly abandoned me in a basket of reeds in the waters of the Nile, but somehow kept anxious watch from concealment, ultimately insinuating herself into the service of Pharaoh's daughter to nurse me in the alien palace. And so here, he says that the middle ground lacks luster. It is undramatic, unspectacular. Nobody wants to view things from the middle ground. And then here he says, again he makes a comparison with the story of, he makes a comparison with Moses. He compares himself to Moses. Moses is a character from the Bible. And so, according to the story of Moses, the mother of Moses, lives for safety reasons. She makes a basket of reeds and puts the baby Moses into that basket and drops the basket in the river Nile. And the Pharaoh's daughter, actually in order to escape from Pharaoh or in order to save the child from Pharaoh, Moses' mother does it. And the baby was dropped in the waters of the river Nile. And the Pharaoh's daughter, when she comes there to take bath, she happens to see the baby in the basket. She takes the basket containing Moses, and thereafter Moses lived there in the palace of Pharaoh. And here Achebe compares himself to Moses. That is from his native Igbo culture. His mother is Igbo culture. And an alien culture is accepting him. Who is that? The Western culture. And so that is the comparison. And so he says that in here, Achebe talks about accepting Western culture. When he went out of Nigeria, and when he was accepted by the BBC School London, he says that it was like being accepted by an alien culture. And here in this context, he compares him to the biblical character of Moses, who was accepted by Pharaoh's daughter. Similarly, he says that his culture is the Igbo culture, and now he is accepted by the Western culture. Then again, very humorously, he says that it is he says that I compared myself to Moses. I saw myself in the position of Moses. Moses leaving his mother, he comes to the hands of Pharaoh's daughter, reaching a foreign culture. Similarly, when Achebe comes out of Nigeria to study in BBC School London, he lives his culture, Igbo culture, in order to be accepted by the foreign culture. He says that, but the comparison is a far-fetched one. And very humorously, Achebe says that it is like the glowworm comparing itself to the full moon. And so there, after that, again, he talks about the middle ground and again the Igbo culture. And he says that according to the Igbo culture, the middle ground is a lucky one. It is a desirable one. And middle ground fences out fanaticism. One way, one truth, one life menace. He talks about these things. He says that fanaticism cannot be tolerated. And Igbo prefer duality. They talk about bad thing and bare neck. It's an Igbo saying. See, you have to read the text. Very interesting it is, but very lengthy. We cannot read every line from the text. But the essence I have explained. And see, again, you will get a thumbnail sketch of Igbo people in this essay. And again, here he says that Igbo people, they are very realistic. Even about marriage, they don't have any romantic views, any romantic concepts. Their approach is very, very realistic. But they give much importance to marriage and married life. And then very in a very amusing way, he says that woman forgoes love for lunch and man tells a lie for his supper. And again he says a woman should say that she does not insist that she be loved by her husband as long as she puts up yam for lunch. And so the point is that Igbo attitude to marriage is very, very realistic. And the way he describes, Achebe describes, it's very, very important. It's very interesting also. The author talks about how to find a way to cope in marriage. And then he talks about Christianity and colonialism. That is, in the coming paragraphs, you see all these things. You will hear reference to the middle ground, and then he establishes that middle ground is lucky, desirable according to Igbo culture. And Igbo culture or middle ground fences out fanaticism. One way, one truth, one life menace. And then he says that Igbo prefer duality. Then he gives a thumbnail sketch of Igbo people. And he says that for the Igbos, they have a very realistic approach towards marriage and married life, not a romantic view. And then he talks about the coming of Christianity and colonialism to Igbo land. And then he discusses, was conversion of Igbo people easy? Actually, Christian missionaries came to Igbo land in 1857. But it took 35 years for the Christian missionaries to reach. They reached Nigeria, and then finally, in 1857, and in order to reach the hometown of Achebe, it took 35 long years. The text reads like this. I can tell you that it was not easy, neither in history nor in fiction. See how people of Nigeria suffered because of the Christian missionaries is described well in his novel Things Fall Apart. And now here in this paragraph, Achebe says that Christianity did not spread fast in the Igbo town. I will read the text. I can tell you that it was not easy, neither in history nor in fiction. But a novel cannot replicate historical duration. And then the first missionaries came to the Niger River town of Onitsha in 1857. From that beachhead, they finally reached my town Ogidi in 1892. Now the distance from Onitsha to Ogidi is only 7 miles. 7 miles in 35 years. That is 1 mile every 5 years. That is no whirlwind. And so what he says is that Christianity did not spread very fast in Nigeria or in Igbo land. He says that Christian missionaries reached Onitsha in 1857. And from that town, in order to reach Achebe's hometown Ogidi, you remember, he belongs to Ogidi. And so, where did the Christian missionaries reach for the first time in Nigeria? In Onitsha. And from there, in order to reach Achebe's hometown Ogidi, it took 35 years. Actually, they have to cover only a distance of 7 miles. As Onisha was very close, only 7 miles away from Achebe's hometown, Ogidi. But Christian missionaries took a long 35 years to reach Ogidi. That means 7 miles they have to cover only within a span of 35 years. That means every 5 years they could cover only 1 mile. The point is, the simple meaning is that Christianity did not spread very fast in Igbo land, in Nigeria. It took so many years for the Christianity to reach the different parts of Nigeria.